Welcome to CodeBlaque Facts. Thank you guys for joining me, and please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in to CodeBlaque Facts. You guys know I love you and I appreciate you guys. So today I want to talk about the many covers that we have seen, the many illustrations that we have seen here lately with making Black women the symbol of, leading protests, leading the community, being the backbone in the community. The symbol for pain, struggle, suffering. Look, you guys, this is nothing new, but I think right now we are starting to, because we are on code as a collective, and when I say on code, I mean we're on code about one specific thing, and that's the mistreatment of Black women, mistreatment of Black men and children, right? The harming that we have had to go through, the injustices that we have had to go. So we're all pretty much collectively on code about that. Now, of course, we do have our in-house fighting, things that we fight, Black men and Black women fight with each other about, but for the most part, we're on code about that. And because we are, we're starting to reject a lot of images, particularly this, and again, this is not a new trend. This has actually been happening, but because we're on code, we're starting to see it as a collective and reject it. So on one hand, you have Black women saying, hey, wait a minute, why do you continue to use our images to paint the face of Black pain and struggle? Why are you doing that? And then Black men are saying, hey, why are you leaving us out? As if, we don't also struggle. We don't also have our pains. We don't also have, go through the suffering, right? And so we are starting to reject this. Now, of course, you have, some certain populations within Black society, females and males, who, for their own reasons, are rejecting these images. But for the most part, it kind of all boils down to some of the same basic things. And so some of the things that I want to talk about in this particular video is, why these images, these are not images that we should be like, oh, go girl, oh yeah, we are. No, these are images that we should really be questioning, and we should be wondering why. Okay, why do particularly male, because these images were all created by male, the ones that you guys see on the screen, and there are many more, but these are the ones that have been kind of coming up in the conversation here lately. And so these are the ones that I want to talk about. But why are Black men, Black males, creating these images to represent Black women or the Black community or the protests, right? Why? And then I want to also kind of break down some of these images and what I see personally, and then also get you guys' views and opinions on, what you think these images, speak of or speak to. So first I want to start out, you guys, with Black, these images, they keep, if you notice, is Black women. These Black women are either brown to dark skinned, okay? Brown to dark skin. If you notice, they don't have mixed looking or racially ambiguous women representing struggle, pain, suffering for the Black community, because they know that when you put a brown skin to dark skinned person on these covers, as a collective, Black people connect more with that image because the majority of us look like that, okay? The majority of Black men are not light-skinned, green, blue eyes with curly blonde hair. The majority of Black women are not light-skinned, racially ambiguous, loose curls, hazel you know, the majority don't look like that. The majority look like what you guys see on the screen. Okay, tight curled hair. Okay, brown to dark skinned. Okay, wide noses. Okay, big lips. These are the images. Look closely at these images. There is a reason why these artists are creating these covers with these particular looking Black women to represent the Black community of some sort. Okay? I want you guys to pay attention to that. And so for me, what I see is, you know, again, as a Black woman, I see how we are responded to, not just by our man, but by other people in society, right? We are strong. We don't need no help. We can, you know, we can do it all alone, all by ourselves. We suffer in silence, right? We are, you know, we are resilient. You know, nothing can get us down. And when we have those stereotypes or those views about us, when we go out into society and we need help, right, or we need protection, then we have people, particularly those in a dominant society, that's unwilling to protect. And then, you know, we do have a certain population of men within the Black community who are unwilling to protect. And you know, and again, that's a whole nother conversation that I have to talk about, because I posted a question on my social media about Black women needing protection. And the response that I received was somewhat surprising, at least for me. Okay, but that's a whole nother conversation. We're going to get into that a little bit later in this particular, talking about this particular topic. But going back to my most recent point, again, these Black women on these covers, they have a certain look, okay? They have a certain look. They have a certain skin tone. Their hair is a certain type, right? Okay? They are not using mixed or racially ambiguous women to represent the Black community. Again, some of the questions that I asked myself when I saw these illustrations was, do these women look happy? Where, you know, are the fathers? Where are their protectors? Where is their help? Why do these women look miserable? Why do they have this young girl who looks miserable? She looks tired. She looks like, you know, something is plaguing her. This young girl does not look happy at all. And to be honest with you, I don't know any man who has a daughter, whether she's a child or a teenager, who wants their daughter to look run down or unhappy or miserable or, you know, in pain or in struggle or conflicted. Men, real men, that's what they protect their little girls from, right? And when we're talking about, because this illustration wasn't just of a young girl. She had, if you looked at the illustration, she had the protest in her braids, right? So again, why is this young girl? And then why these are men, Black men, why are they not painting illustrations of young boys or black men who are really getting the brunt of all of the killings and the murders by police officers? Why didn't they create those images? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where my mind goes to. That's what I think about. And those are questions that I have. And so before I get into more, I want to go ahead and show you the guys who created the illustrations. And then we're going to get into each illustration. And I kind of want to break it down from my perspective about each illustration. And then from there, we'll end this broadcast. So thank you guys. Okay, so as you guys can see on the screen, these are the artists behind the cover, the Rolling Stone cover, and then, of course, the 2 Time magazine covers. These are the artists behind the covers. As you guys can see, these are all Black males. These are all Black, you know, men who are creating these images. So there you go. Okay, so now let's look at this particular image, the Rolling Stone. As you guys can see, you got a Black woman, you have her Black son. Look at the crowd in the background. Where are the black men in the crowd in the black background? Okay? Where? You see a little black boy with an afro on, on a bike, right? And then you see a bunch of non-black people. You see the American flag back there. But where are the black men? So, this suggests that, again, the black women, we are leading the protests. And, now I don't want to take away from anything that black women have done within the protest. So let me rephrase this. There are black women out here in, the streets putting in work. There are black women out here organizing protests. There are black women out there who are, going up against, the injustice within the criminal justice system. They're going up against, toe to toe with the police, all up in their faces. Like there are black women out there putting in work. And I, can respect that. However, I do not agree with it. And that's just my own opinion. And I'll kind of get into that here in a little bit later. But I personally don't think black women should have themselves or black children on the front lines of these protests. You see black women getting their eyeballs blown out with rubber bullets. You see black women getting beat up. You see black women being shot at, all because they are out there on the front lines in these protests. And to be quite honest with you, I am within the population of society of black women who believe that, look, physical war is for men. Notice, emphasis on physical war, meaning going out, going toe-to-toe with people. Do I have a firearm? Yes, I have a firearm. Do I know how to use it? Yes, I know how to use it. Okay? That is for protecting myself, my home. If someone was to come up in here, if I am being followed or something like that. But that is not for me to go to the front lines and be thinking I can go toe-to-toe with other men, whether it be black men or men in the dominant society. I just don't think like that. I'm not that delusional where I think I can take on an army of men. I just don't do that. And I'm not delusional enough to think that even the men who may be right beside me would be also fighting for me, because they're fighting for their own causes. They could be fighting for their brothers or their uncles and cousins who may have gotten into some stuff with the police. They may not necessarily be fighting on behalf of me. I'm just not fool enough to believe that. I think that people are out there with their own agendas. They have their own reasons as to why they're out there, not necessarily for the entire whole black society. And that can be proven on one of the posts that I posted on one of my pages, on my social media page, where I asked black men particularly who is responsible for protecting black women. And the reason why I worded it the way that I worded it, because I said 70% of black women who are single and unmarried, and it's them, and then a lot of these women have children. Who's responsible? And a lot of black men went under there saying they are responsible for themselves, or their brothers and uncles and cousins or fathers are responsible for them. So again, when you're out here as black women and you're fighting and going on the front lines of these protests, the black man standing next to you, he may not be necessarily fighting to protect you or keep you and your children protected, because his protections may come with circumstances and other things attached. So y'all may not necessarily be fighting for the same, on the front lines for the same thing. So I'm not fool enough to believe that. I think that everybody has their own agenda, and that goes for the coons who are out there, as well as the LGBTQ who are out there fighting for their rights, as well as the Spanish or Latino person who is out there fighting for their rights, or the immigrant black person who is out there fighting for their rights. So everybody, when you're going in these protests, people got their own agendas. My thing is, if you want to be on the front lines, go right on ahead. I tip my hat to you. But understand that what you think you're fighting for, everybody may not be fighting for that. What you getting your head busted in for, your eyes blown out with rubber bullets for, that may not be what everybody else is fighting for. I just want you guys to understand that. Okay, so now let's look at this next illustration of this young black girl. Look at her skin tone. She's a brown skinned uh black young girl. Look at what's inside of her braids. If you look closely, there are a lot of little sayings inside of her braids. And again, it looks like there's a protest going on. They, within that protest, they have or there's some riots going on, actually, because within her braids, you see the burning, like they have burned down some stuff. You see some picket signs. So, and then you see this, look at her face. She looks so sad. She looks, like something is missing, like she's hurting, like she's in pain, like there is something plaguing her. And this is not how young black girls should be, looking, to be honest with you. These girls should be protected. And seeing this kind of, I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit of a trigger for me, because I don't know if you guys saw the video of this young black girl who was hit in the face with a skateboard, knocked out cold on the pavement by a black male, okay? And it was other black males standing around who laughed. And apparently he hit her because she rejected him. And he felt like that was disrespectful. I guess how she rejected him was disrespectful. And just to see her lifeless body laying out there, I'm like, damn, because that could be anybody's, teenage girl or young girl who's unmarried, don't have a husband, because she's young. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then it's like, okay, well, she may have uncles and fathers, but this woman had to be knocked out and then go get her uncles, fathers, brothers, and cousins? Like, no. Like, there is no code. It shouldn't have happened. So when I see this illustration of this young girl who's in pain, who's, it looks like as she's being conflicted, and then there's a black male artist behind it, I'm asking, like, what does he see? What is he saying that I'm not seeing? Why is he not illustrating young boys or young men, or the men who are actually being shot down the most and killed by police brutality or prisoned? Why are these men not illustrating those illustrations? And I'm going to tell you why. I think part of it has to do with, a lot of black men are tired of seeing themselves, in what they may deem as weak positions, right? They're crying. They're in these positions where they're crying, which, may come off as weakness. They're in positions where they're always going to jail in handcuffs, or things like that. So we see those illustrations all the time with black men. And so maybe they're just like, okay, I don't want to paint those or illustrate those. So I'm just going to replace those with black women. And instead of, illustrating black women going to jail, we're just going to illustrate black women being the heads of the protests, which to me, inadvertently illustrates, a woman who can do it all by herself. She can go toe to toe with a police army of men, mostly men, right? The police are made up of a majority men, particularly white men. So she can go toe to toe with her children by her side. No man around, no other, men from her community are not around. So it's almost like they are replacing the imagery that we would normally see with the images of black women. And from a psychological standpoint, we got to look at that and really, break that down and understand what that means. And I know some of you guys are like, oh, it's not that deep, but it is. But it is. It really is. It really is. Okay, so don't discount what we are seeing right before our eyes. And let's move on to the last illustration, and then we're going to close. Okay, so here in the last illustration, you see a black woman with a baby in her arms. Okay, and you're like, okay, is this an imaginary baby? Is it a white baby she's holding? As you guys can see, she's got, it looks like a glove on her hand, like a blue glove. I mean, there's so much. But then again, the man is missing. Look at her face. She looks, sad. She looks disturbed, concerned, maybe even in fear. And so again, it's like, okay, what is he trying to project through this image of this black woman? And I think this to me makes, black women who have kids, particularly sons, boys, I think they feel this image a lot more. And I think this is why he created this, so that black women buy into that. Black women who have, because remember, black women are birthing these men. Okay, yeah, black men are helping by lending their sperm, right? But black women are birthing these children, particularly these men who are being shot down. This is somebody's son. This is somebody, again, Floyd, he was shot down, and when his last words was, "I can't breathe," and he called out for his mother, George Floyd. Right? And so that really, really struck a lot of women with young boys who are raising boys. And so I feel like this picture kind of speaks to that. But then it's almost like, why is the father not around? Because what we really need right now is black families to be uplifted and portrayed, because we don't see enough. We don't see enough. We don't see enough families where it's a black woman, black man, black children, and these are healthy, non-dysfunctional families, right? Because sometimes you do see that, but then it's just so much drama in this, just dysfunction. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys. You guys tell me what you think. What do you see with these images? What was, I know I tried to squeeze everything all in at the same time because I did not want to make this very long. So there was a lot of things that I wanted to talk about that I did not. But, whatever I forgot to mention or talk about, you guys let me know. Let's have this conversation. What do you see? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts on this? Also, you guys do not forget to go ahead and follow me on all of my social medias. I am on Twitter, I am on Facebook, and I'm also right here on YouTube. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, go to CodeBlaqueProducts.com. There are hair products, there are beard, skin products. Everything is made with natural and organic ingredients. Everything is just wonderful, smells good. It's just overall good for you guys. And so you guys don't forget, I will post everything in the link or in the description box. I'll post all the links in the description box. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And we will talk soon. Bye.